Okay, so we're now on the third step
Mm-hmm.
on the 7 steps of spiritual alchemy coaching program. It's such a mouthful, isn't it? So Sam, if you've been watching her journey unfold doing the 7 steps coaching, Sam is one of our master spiritual life coach students at the Soul Awakening Academy. And on the Soul Awakening Academy, you get to use with your clients my 7-step coaching program. And it coaches through the chakras because each chakra holds a life theme. There's a series of events, experiences, beliefs that we accumulate in each chakra, and that plays out its role through each lens of the chakra. So, for instance, the root chakra, we worked on Sam with kind of reparenting in a way. So, bringing in that strong male energy with all the right attributes. So, it was the embodying the Emperor archetype. And on the female energy, we brought in the Empress archetype. So, those energies now work with Sam and through Sam to help her make right decisions, to bring back some inner strength and clarity, cooperation between the two male energies, because it was evident that Sam's male energy was just playing more of an active role and not in the way that she wanted it to. So there's a rebalance in there that took place. The Sacral Chakra archetype, we embodied the High Priestess. So that was all about opening up to your creativity, your intuition, your female wisdom. So the Sacral Chakra today is going to be embodying the archetype of the magician. So the sacral is where we manifest. This is where our power, our solar light comes from. So it's also connected to the sun in the solar system. So that's our vitality. But there can be power imbalances that play, because obviously everybody knows most people know about the ego, and all that is a projection of the self, a version of the self that we want to present to the world. So the magician is the kind of manifester of his own life, but he brings in spiritual philosophies and manifests them into physical form. So it's like, okay, who do you want to be? What do you want to become? And what do you want to have in your life? And doing it from accessing spiritual universal energy, then it's coming from the highest form. If we do it from our solar plexus, or we do it based on the needs that haven't been met in the lower 3 chakras, the root and sacral, then we know it's just our unmet needs being projected out into the world to fulfill another need through the solar, to feel powerful, to have that imbalance met within us. However, and that takes shape through everybody individually, because we all have different life experiences. So I know me and Sam, we always message in between sessions to see how she's doing. And you said that you felt like you were having some massive kind of like opening.
Yeah. It was I loved her, the High Priestess. I was just like on a different planet in terms of energy. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, I really felt it. And yeah, it was great. It was
Did it
great.
help you? Did it help you with what you were trying to achieve? Because I know you kind of focused on your business at the minute, aren't you?
Yeah, I literally was so productive to the point where I was like, I just want to make the most of this. Like, this can't continue. I mean, it did, but it was a bit like, oh, when is this plug going to be pulled of this amazing energy? But yeah, no, I did. I got lots of not just stuff done, not just bits like loose ends tied up, but also a bit more of a strategy. So like to take a step back and to be able to, I felt like I was, and I am a bit like this anyway, but like I'm a bit like a magpie. Something gets like dangled and I'm like, ooh, and off I go down that rabbit hole, and then something over there and I'm like, oh, what's that? And then that's when it becomes overwhelming and I get led off course. So yeah, just kept coming, and that just kept bringing me back, like, why am I doing this? What am I doing it for? Is this really where I want to be taking my business? And like having to let go of things that didn't serve me, even though they were exciting and lovely and shiny.
Oh, well done. Wow, that's massive. Yeah. So just reflect back, because you might not have done this yet, but just think about how the 3 energies now, so the Emperor, the Empress, and the High Priestess, so it's a beautiful like triangle trinity. How do you think they are serving and helping you right now?
I think from a root point of view, I think it feels very balanced, like the male and the female energy. And when I feel them, it feels very calming. Feels very calming, very rebalancing, reassuring. Like there's just a homeostasis kind of, you know, like. And then the high priestess, although I felt the energy burst, I think what I felt on that one was the coming back to the why, the who, the reasoning behind all of these, like being able to reflect inwards as to why you're wanting to make those decisions, not necessarily just about your business, but like where's that coming from.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's where they've served me so far.
Good. How do you, just I'm curious, how do you, if you need to, how does it work for you, like calling in their energies, like, you know, if you need to feel grounded or you need to do something and you know it's the energy of the emperor and empress you need, or the sacral, the high priestess, how do you feel their energy, or how do you call them in?
Literally, I take myself back to them, like the visualizations, like they approach. So from the root, they literally come in. One approaches, hand on the shoulder, and I literally take myself back to that visualization, take myself to that place, and yeah, they approach and they just come in. I just call upon them and they come in, and they have that effect as soon as they're there.
Yeah, good. All right, brilliant. So you've completed your solar plexus workbook. So
Yeah,
that seemed like a good time in your life. And I just wanted to just touch on some points, because there was obviously a relationship with your son's father,
yeah,
where you were together, but then you became ill, and then it started, a lot of criticism came in about the way you looked and your weight and things like that. Um, and I just wanted to ask about, because we've kind of like looked at the beliefs around um not fully embracing deep connections, not fully allowing yourself to really sink in and be completely open, honest and raw, because there's just a defense barrier there to
mm-hmm,
keep you
mm-hmm.
safe. But am I right in thinking that was already there, but this solidified it a bit more, or this heightened it, or?
I think up until that point in my life, I'd been pretty carefree. I'd been pretty like, you know, I am who I am, kind of, and you accept me for who I am or you don't. Like, and that's the way that I portrayed myself to others. Like, I felt like I was pretty true to, I didn't really have much care. It, not in a negative way, but for how other people perceived me,
Yeah.
until that point. Because it was over a period of time, and I went from a person that was pretty confident, pretty carefree, pretty outgoing, fun loving, to a person that was like a shell of herself,
Mm,
like didn't want to go out, didn't want to talk to people, became inward, no confidence. And that was all because of this critique of how I looked and
mhm.
how he saw me. So I felt like that. I don't feel like it was there before that experience. I think, you know, as a teenager, it probably popped in, but wasn't very loud, you know, again, but I think that was the moment in my life that I saw how I had changed because of other people's reactions and judgments.
Mhm. So when you think of it in terms of the solar plexus, so that's where we project, that's where we get our power really. Um, what did that do to your power, to your light, if you like, you know?
Turned it off. I mean, totally. I just became a shell. There was no light. I was dead. I was dead.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Um,
Would that have happened if the said person didn't make derogatory comments?
I don't think so. No, I think what would have happened is I would have seen, because I still would have been the person that I was, and I would have seen that the relationship wasn't working. and made a break from that probably sooner, because I was able to feel confident in that, in my power to do so, like, rather than staying in a relationship because I felt so vulnerable, because I felt so powerless, because I didn't know, because I had no confidence, because I had no belief, because I'd been told all of this crap.
Yeah, and how long did that last? How long was you in that for?
Probably 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you left, so you got the power from somewhere.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but one day I got a comment, you know, just like most weeks that went by.
Mm-hmm.
But my reaction that day, something switched. Don't know how, don't know where it came from,
Yeah.
but something switched. And I just said, look, if that's how you feel, then I think you better leave. And that was it.
How much power, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most, how much power is still with that other person
Back then or now?
now?
Not much, 3 maybe.
Yeah. So 3's with
Yeah.
that other person, 7
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
And tell me about the 3. What's in the 3? How is that power still with that other person?
I think it is more of a confidence thing. Like, I don't feel like I've fully, it's a real hard one, because in some scenarios I can absolutely say it's done, you know, it's absolutely done, but there is just a part that I know is not, and that I do still have that little voice in
That
my
says,
ear. Yeah.
that says,
What are they thinking?
but this stems back to childhood now.
I don't think it does. I think it's more about, I think it's more as an adult. I really do. More that, I don't think it is childhood. I think it is from that, those years of being manipulated and psychologically tortured, if you like, where I still have that memory of what that felt like. And don't ever, and I think I said in my book, I think this is where that day that it changed was an amazing day. But I also think from a negative point of view, I got too much power from that. And like, that feeds into the previous ones where the defenses are high, you're not so open, you know, it's like a theme that is threaded through. Yeah, and I've sidetracked there.
No, that all makes sense. I get that. You know, you've had this really awful experience. Of course, your guard is going to be up. Of course, your guard is going to be up. That's quite natural. And that feeds into, you know, you've got to earn your trust type of thing. You know, I'm going to let you in, but only so much. I need you, but I don't need you, because if I do need you, it could end up really bad. So that all makes sense completely. On the flip side of that, how long ago was this?
Oh God. 26 years ago.
Okay, so on the flip side of that, 2 years is not a long time.
No.
And
No.
26 years ago is an awful long time.
Yeah.
For this still to have a 3 hold, for you to still have fragmented power in that relationship.
I think for me, Anne-Marie, there was an experience. I thought it was gone. I absolutely thought it was dead and buried and gone. And then not so long ago, I had an experience, and it took me straight back to that point. and not in the same way, but the feelings that were associated with that.
So tell me about the feelings then, because there is a reason why I'm asking. So it's what we want to know is the voice in the head, what you tell you about you.
Yeah.
So what are they thinking is the first thought. That thought will then trigger an emotion. What can you be aware of that?
It was, I think the thought that came when this recent experience came up, and it took me straight back there, was that means that I'm not loved. That was the thought that came up.
So can I just again tell you that for it to be so strong, core Sam, it has to have happened at a fundamental level.
Right. Okay.
Just a 2-year experience.
Right. Okay.
That you left. So in our previous sessions, you've talked about parents,
Yeah.
the male figure, and having to perform and to be loved.
Yeah.
If anybody criticizes you, because you are not performing, whether it's through illness, you don't like your hair, you don't like your clothes, whatever, you put weight on, whatever, this goes right back to fundamental childhood Sam, who has to perform, otherwise she's not accepted.
No, I get that now.
So anything that happens later on, it triggers us right back to subconscious stuff. And if it carries emotional charge, that's when you know, fuck, this is deep. So if it's deep, I totally appreciate like a 2-year experience of mental abuse and emotional abuse is really harrowing. But it's just with what you said in your previous sessions, it's like, okay, this is actually just a building block.
The reinforcement almost of it, isn't it?
Yeah. And as we said, you know, those first root chakra beliefs, they don't go away. You know, they're formed in us in a cellular memory, and we go on developing and our brain is functioning, but on a cellular level, we've got an imprint now. And our brain is formed to alert us to those danger of that imprint. You know, those signals. So a signal happens, this guy's treating me like shit and he's telling me awful things about myself. What does this mean about me? And then that's where all the cellular stuff comes up. So it's a pattern of bringing, you know, embracing the self and realizing that all these people had their flaws. Actually, it was never about you. It was never ever about you and who you are fundamentally. It was only ever about other people's coping mechanisms at the time. We don't realize that, do we, as kids, and it gets stored in us. So the magician is about taking back your power. So it's not lying with someone else. I mean, 26 years this guy's been carrying 3% of your power in his pocket. Well, do you want him to keep that? Like, how is that serving you? And in what you want to do? So it's about claiming it back now. And it's, again, I always say to you, it's just so simple, but yet so difficult when people say, how do I change? Well, first of all, visualize who you want to be and then become it. So that's what the magician can help you do, can manifest it for you quickly. So I'm going to use my system of chakra alchemy again. So we'll just see what core issues are here, emotions, and then we can talk about it. But before I do that, I'm going to let you go into a meditation. The meditations are important because when you're talking to me and you're consciously thinking, but the body knows so much more than the 5% of the conscious mind that we use. So when we go into meditation, we allow the subconscious to come and talk to us. So whatever comes up for you, that is really important for the session. So we'll discuss it when we're done. So as you know, just get yourself nice and comfy. So start to breathe deeply, closing your eyes. And just taking any awareness on the outside in your environment, just take that awareness within. So now we're going to work on the Sacral Chakra, which is the belly, just above the navel. I'm just going to play the video. Okay, so make yourself as comfortable as possible. Allow yourself to close your eyes and take your attention within. Taking nice deep breaths. Breathing into the heart, so the heart space becomes expansive and full of wonderful light. Allowing your body to become filled with the light. And as you become embraced by the light, you feel safe, supported, and nurtured by this spiritual light. Just allow yourself to go deeper and deeper into this wonderful feeling within. Visualize the color yellow and see your solar plexus chakra spinning in your upper abdomen. Visualize this yellow light dissolving any anger or fear that has held you back. Picture a cord connecting your solar plexus to the sun. Feeling the energy of power, strength, and confidence lighting up your body. One of the most beautiful aspects of spiritual awakening is the discovery of one's own power. And in each moment we have a choice. We can choose to live differently by releasing what no longer serves us. When we release certain fears, beliefs, or negative behaviors, we create space for more joy, positivity, flow, and abundance to come in as its replacement. Take this opportunity to bring to mind all the limiting beliefs, negative feelings, insecurities, fears and blocks that no longer serve you and are blocking your spiritual flow. And then imagine them being burnt away by the sun. And as they melt away, all the wonderful experiences, positive feelings, and opportunities you're going to create start to flood in to your stomach area. Just imagine a beautiful spiral of yellow light warming and filling your stomach area as you repeat the following mantra to yourself. Today I am ready for change. Today I am ready to let go. Today I am ready to trust, to see clearly, to love unconditionally, to walk my authentic path with the truth of who I am. And just taking some nice, slow, deep breaths. Allowing that energy to penetrate from your head to the tips of your toes. And in a moment, I will count you back from 3 to 1. Where you will open your eyes and feel wide awake. 3, starting to feel your back against the chair. 2, wiggling your fingers and toes. And 1, opening your eyes and feeling refreshed and wide awake. Okay, love. Anything come through for you then?
Aggression.
I've got anger. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was quite I was quite resistant to it, but yeah, that's the only, and I was like, no, I'm not. But yeah, that's the subconsciously, that's what came through, like without me. Yeah.
And do you know what it was connected to?
No. I feel it is probably, I feel like it's probably, again, just a bit of rebalancing needed in that area to get a bit more feminine in. I feel like it's just a bit, that power is just a bit too masculine at times.
Yeah.
And therefore can be coming across as anger or aggression, and therefore just needs a bit more balance.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I found with the chakra alchemy system. So while you're in meditation, I use the pendulum just to figure out what the core emotions are, what the beliefs are, how big it's playing out in your life right now, who we're releasing it from, and how we're going to raise that frequency to break free from the pattern. So what came through was a core issue of trust. And the emotion was unworthy and worthlessness.
Okay.
It's blocking intimacy and romance. We're releasing from family. It's playing out 85%. Its frequency is anger. We need to raise that frequency to power. And the color we're going to bring in is orange, which is connections in our social lives, creativity, passion, and intimacy.
I'd probably go along with most of that, to be fair.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Weird, I'm wearing orange today.
I know, I noticed. I noticed. Right, let me just see who this is going to be to. So, Sam. Okay, so we're going to make an invocation to the planet Venus, which is all about love and oneness. So the thing that jumps out to me the most about what we found with the chakra alchemy and the solar plexus is the core issue of trust. How does that resonate with you?
I think I can only resonate it back to like my values, because honesty and trust is like number one. It just, everything I do is
it's just, I was thinking more along the lines of, you know, we can only really be our true selves if we trust in our environment, if we feel a sense of trust in ourselves. It's not like, oh, if what we do is trustworthy particularly, that's not what I'm sensing. It's more just a sense of trust in other people, in life, you know, because when you trust, you can surrender and let go. That there is no need for power
Yeah,
back. You know, we don't need to
yeah,
cling on to anything to have our power um fueled type of thing, because we just trust. And it's a hard thing, because I know myself, you know, I'm always on the go, I'm always like active, and it can take me out of balance from being in a place of trust and surrender, you know, and letting go.
mm-hmm.
So it's more along those lines that I'm sensing the trust, and I'm just wondering
Right.
how you feel about that.
I think, I mean, that could correlate and weave into that that element of just trusting the process kind of thing, just not feeling like there has to be this I want to say control, but then I don't. More of just trusting in the process of, and allowing the fun to come in, rather than it being so serious and so controlled, rather than controlling. So I feel like all I talk about at the moment though is my business. Like that is like the focus of everything that I'm doing is my business. And there has to be a plan, and there has to be a strategy, and there has to be some fundamentals behind it. And in a way, that is negating me as as Sam. Like, although my business is me, and it is authentic to who I am and what I want to achieve and where I want to go and what I want to do, but it's like it's taken over, or it's taking over life. So that's why I say about trusting in just in being, and just like the fun and just the relaxation of life, rather than there's always got to be a plan and a strategy, and you've always got to be busy and doing, and a bit like what you said about that, you know, you get so caught up in it that it takes you off balance.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and I know what that does to me. Another thing that just came through, you know, this is a tricky question, and I just want you to kind of like notice how you feel in your body when I ask you the question. But how much do you trust other people? I don't want you to overthink it and start going, oh, do I trust such and such? Or
No, I generally am quite trusting. I feel like I am, yeah. Like new people that I meet, I trust them until I have no reason not to, sort of thing. That's my,
on a scale of 1 to 10, take out any scenario.
yeah.
Yeah, because that'll just put us. Yeah. So this is like you're talking to the body now. You're not talking to the brain. So the body, it's a famous saying of one of the books I've read, the body knows the score.
Yeah.
Yeah. If somebody asked me that question, I'd start to analyze yeah, I trust them. Yeah, I trust them, but I trust them so much, you know, forget that. Don't let your brain work it out. Just ask your body, how much trust do I have in other people and life?
Pretty much, quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So fundamentally, you trust other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though you keep deep connections out?
Yeah. 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 Because to me, they're two, I know
you're
it's
going to want to separate them because they're over there, but they're over there. And I know,
to me, it's like there is a conflict there in what's being said, but it's like I can wholeheartedly trust someone until I have cause not to. And then you questioned, really, because you're not fully open. But to me, that's, and I am separating them out, because to me, that is not trusting them. That's not trusting me.
yes, but you might just be imagining people as we're discussing this and going and seeing people in your sphere. And I don't want you to relate this to people.
Yeah.
Because.
But yeah, I mean, if I just took people out and you said,
Yeah.
I do, yeah, I'd say I'm a pretty trusting person.
Okay.
And if I took all of these people and scenarios out, I would have no reason not to trust anyone. And I do. The only doubt comes in is when I get the head involved and I start putting that into trust and scenarios and people, because I've had cause then to distrust. But if I take that out, I absolutely trust people, and I do have deep connections with people that I meet, because they're not bringing me any shit and any stuff. So yeah, I would say that I do.
Okay.
Again, I'm just trying to take this, like, the people and scenarios out of that.
Yeah, because most of us will have relationships where we trust the other person because there's a level that we go to with another person, and if they show a sign of not being trustworthy, then quite easily we can walk away from that relationship. If it's a friend, we can walk away, it's okay. But when it's a potential for you to really get hurt, where it's like a really deep connection about fully letting go, fully trusting, the vulnerability, the wide openness, that this is the raw me, let me meet the raw you, that safety and that trust, that's a different experience.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. No, I 100% agree with you there, because then you are bringing in your past experiences and past, your past experience of how you've been, when that's what you've done, like the body and the head connect, and like, oh well, I've got to keep you safe, and so therefore you can't trust that person 100%, because that's what's going to happen. So yeah, and obviously I think for me, what you said there about trust, there are different levels. Like, I can trust someone in a business sense 100% and have a really lovely deep connection with some of my clients, and it's great. And I can 100% say, yeah, I trust. If I took that into a different relationship, it might not be the same level.
Yeah, and that's what we are kind of working with. We're working with the deepest level possible that might not be totally visible or accessible to you, because we compartmentalize everything and every relationship, and everybody has its place, and we function in different relationships because our brain will go, well, she's safe, he's safe, yeah, you can easily get out of that one if you need to. Oh, but this one, better keep your guard up there, just give them 80%, give them 70%, because if you really go there with them and they fuck you over, you're just going to be a complete mess, aren't you? And it's happened before, so it can happen again. So that's the level of trust that I'm talking about. Just because it's come up here and it says it's blocking intimacy and romance, it's releasing from family, there's anger attached to it. So it's you have to take out all those other relationships. We're not talking about work, we're not talking about friends, we're not talking about business relationships, we're talking about the most intimate, deepest, vulnerable relationships that you can ever experience in your life, which takes you to depths of your own psyche that you don't want to go, because that's where the barrier comes in, and we've already talked about that in the previous sessions. So it's just with that trust coming up I feel, and I don't know if this resonates with you, but just working with that again. Still, I know we worked on it in the sacral, where you allowed your husband to really hold you and
Mhm,
embrace you.
mhm,
And now
mhm.
you've changed the language around, I need you, I don't need you, to
Yeah, yeah,
something more positive and
yeah.
honest and open, so you can really see each other for who you are. But again, I think with you know, we bring that stuff up into the solar plexus, so that sacral stuff comes out again, just through another window, and
Yeah.
plays a different role, but wearing the same hat. And I'm just wondering if if the magician were to help you with any type of power imbalances. All right, well, let me ask you, if the magician were to help you rebalance any power issues, where would you want that balance to be? Where would you want that power to be rebalanced?
Whilst we're in this space, in this area.
Yeah, if I could say to you, right, we're going to bring in an energy and it's
Mhm.
going to help you balance all the areas of life where you feel there have been power struggles, what area would you tell it to go to?
Probably my relationship.
And why would you want it to go there?
Um, I think because there is this, it is when that aggression, like that came up when I was in there is this aggression. So if they could come in and magic that away, that would have an impact on
What's the
that.
aggression for? What's it doing for you?
Um, Again, without trying to think about it too much, like the word that just came out was like martyr, like it's playing out as a martyr.
Yeah.
Um, um, and I suppose that links back into like that I don't need you, like I can do it all, I've got this. Um, so I can see that they're all interlinked. But in terms, I suppose in terms of, it's just about bringing back that balance, like trying to do the business, the home, the relationship, life, like it's all the martyr here. I'm doing it all, and that is making me angry, aggressive.
Okay. Do you need to do it all?
No.
No. So you could get other people to help you, maybe. Don't know.
There's this, again, it's about that expectation of, because I'm at home, but I'm working, but I'm at home, there is this expectation from others. And this only occurred to me last night, actually, because I was out and I had loads of stuff to do with my mum, and it ran on longer. So therefore I wasn't home to get the dinner on, and etc. etc. Whereas the expectation is, because I'm at home, that will happen. And I just flipped it on its head and said, okay, so are you home? Like, what's the situation on the dinner front? Like, well, I've just got in, kind of thing. I was like, well, you're in before me. And I was just like, okay, well, we'll just sort ourselves out. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll sort myself out, but not in an aggressive way. Like, just like, that's fine. And I thought last night, why is it always up to me to sort it all out? Like, have it all done, even though I'm still working. So that again is a bit like trying to fill all of those roles
Mm-hmm.
because of the judgment of others. I don't really care about the judgment of others. but that's where I think this aggression or anger is coming in, because I'm obviously feeling like I do need to do it all.
Yeah, I get that. And again, I'm just going to put it back to you, like, what is the solution to that? Because there could well be quite a simple solution to that.
Just don't do it.
Or
I don't see there is another solution. You carry on doing it, or you don't carry on doing it.
have you had a conversation about the changes that you're making and how that might change the dynamics? And
No. And see, here again, you saying that as I'm like already why is that my responsibility to have that conversation?
well, it's not really, but
Exactly. Like,
but
you
it's
don't have to have a
more
conversation with me about, like, well, I'm not going to be home tomorrow, so I won't be here to, so why is it up to me to have that? Again, I'm getting the aggression, and this is what I mean about it. This is why I think if he could come in and magic that away, and it's almost aggression defensiveness, because, like, why is it always falling on, like, my shoulders to sort it and have the conversations and make sure everybody's okay with what's going on? Nobody else is giving a toss, so why should I?
okay. Well, you don't have to, but I'll
Yeah.
ask you another question. Do you want this scenario to continue? Are you happy with the aggression? Are you happy with the
No, I would like that to go. Yeah, I would like if the magician could take that away, and yeah.
Okay, so the energy will work through you, not through you in the way that you ask it to. So obviously it's going to come from you, so you're the one going to be doing the work. But if with the support of the magician, who will give
Yeah.
you the kind of motivation to go forward and make the changes that you want to make.
Yeah. I think also it's a bit like having communication.
Okay, let me throw this
Okay.
right in your face. Are you living out your value of honesty?
No.
No.
100% no. No. No.
Okay, so remember, I know it's so hard. Listen, I am not a saintly person. Okay, like, I can be aggressive and very angry and all of that. I can be all of that a lot of the time, right? But I'm coaching you now.
Yeah,
Nobody's
absolutely.
coaching me.
Yeah.
I'm coaching you, and I'm reflecting stuff back to you. And I take on board exactly what you're saying. So you want to change. You've come here with a level of consciousness, and you're like, right, I'm ready to do the work, and you are doing the work. But I've said to you time and time again, you are going to get triggered so often,
Absolutely.
because this is the test. Doesn't happen when we're in a state of
Yeah.
joy and flow. That's
Yeah.
easy. It happens when we're at our worst, and we get these fucking reminders
Yeah.
of how much or how little we are actually prepared to do the work.
Yeah.
So take this as another gift.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're going to help me up level and do it. Do the work.
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah.
aligned to my values? No. Is that why I'm feeling shitty? If I do align to my values, what changes will I make? Well, you know what? I'll have it on the table, frank, balanced, Emperor and Empress with me,
Yeah.
compassion, all of that. Honest discussion with my hubby to tell him, look, this is happening for me right now. This might affect you in this way. That's teamwork, whatever. I know you're not in control of what might come back, but
No, exactly.
you're
Yeah.
doing the work.
That's the difference. Like, that is the difference. Previous to starting this work, I would be like, what's the point? Because I'm going to get this, and this. But now I can't be responsible for what comes back. That's his own issue, or that's their own issue. I still have to continue doing my work for me.
Yeah. So going back to what's come up, we're releasing it from family. So this may well be a theme that you've noticed. Could even be patterns of women behavior, just family dynamics from whenever. Bringing up trust, bringing up unworthiness and worthlessness. So with that feeling, we can claim our power back. by making ourselves be worthy, be busy. I know I can do that. And but the anger can fuel it, you know, the martyrism. Look at me,
Yeah.
you're not paying, you're not telling me how much you can see that I'm working here. Therefore, I'm gonna have to do this, that, and the other, and tell you all about it, tell you how much I'm sacrificing. You know, that's what the martyr's role is. So, you know, this is playing out quite a lot. So we're going to release it by raising the frequency to power. That's exactly what the magician does and comes in, but it's a nice balanced power.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to do a couple of things, but if you just get yourself into a nice relaxed state.
Might take me a few deep breaths.
Yeah, you go for it. I just need to send a little message to someone saying I'm running late.
Sorry if I rabbit it on. Like
Not at all. Actually, I don't need to do that. Right. So the magician archetype, he brings in his manifesting power. He's creative. And most of all, he's powerful. One of the biggest things that we manifest our reality with is our words. So I want you to start to breathe in the color orange, Sam. This color orange is about creativity, passion, and intimacy. It helps you form connection in your social life. But just start to really breathe it in. And as you breathe it out, imagine that mist of color all around you. As you start to breathe this color in and breathe it out, I want you to raise your frequency to that of power. So it may be that you recall a time in your life when you felt really powerful, but make it a good experience. Maybe an achievement, where you've done something really, really good, and you feel super powerful. And then just taking your attention into the solar plexus, which is the area just above the navel. Just want you to imagine a cord of light that runs from the solar plexus out in front of you. And just follow that light with your eyes. And at the end of that light, you're going to see a vision now. And the vision is the archetype of the magician. And just notice how he appears to you. How tall he is. Maybe it's a female, maybe it's a male. Just notice what the magician is wearing. And I just want you to notice the magician's hands. Just notice the light that emanates from the magician's hands. This is where the magic happens. Just want you to notice now, as he faces his palms, the palms of his hands face towards you. And from both hands emanate beautiful healing light that penetrates right through your solar plexus and fills up your whole body. And as that energy, that light is filling up your whole body, just notice how powerful you feel, but notice the difference in this power. It might not be your usual power. It might be a totally different level of power that you experience now. And I'm going to say some words, and I just want you to say them out loud after me. So this is our invocation to the power planet Venus. So Venus, please allow me to see.
Venus, please allow me to see.
Experience and feel the love and beauty.
And feel the love and beauty.
That surrounds me.
That surrounds me.
As I open my heart now.
As I open my heart now.
To love and beauty on the inside.
To love and beauty on the inside.
I invoke your true.
I evoke your true.
Pure, loving spirit.
Pure, true, loving spirit.
To inspire.
To inspire.
And light up my life.
And light up my life.
As I manifest your love.
As I manifest your love.
I feel a joy.
I feel a joy.
And power.
And power.
That is beyond words.
That is beyond words.
And just notice now as the magician now just fades away, just goes back into the ether, and that cord of light comes all the way and seals itself into your solar plexus chakra. And just notice any feelings, messages, sensations, or words. Just really breathing it in and out all around your auric field. And in a moment, I'll count from 1 to 3. So 1 is just feeling your feet against the floor. 2 is feeling your back against the chair. And 3 is just opening your eyes and coming back to conscious awareness. How did that feel?
Yeah, not as strong as the others.
Yeah.
I felt like there was some resistance there.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that came through was work to be done, work to be done, work to be done. Like I felt like it only got through to a point, you know, like it didn't, whereas the others have been I felt them. So yeah. Says all it needs to say.
Yes, well, that's really interesting. So just tell me about the resistance, like how it only got through to a point. What did you experience?
Like it was like hitting a wall. Like it came through,
Yeah.
but it didn't penetrate right the way through. Like It was like there was this definite nope.
What do you think? Why do you think the resistance is there?
Don't know.
Yeah.
I found it quite hard to get into that place.
Yeah.
Today, and I normally really I just go with it and love it and embrace it and take it all in. It's like, yeah, like there was just I wasn't fully there with the magician.
Yeah. Do you know why?
No. Maybe there's no.
Is there a part of you that wants to keep a hold of how you're feeling and how you?
No. Absolutely not. No.
So you want to let it go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to let it go, do you think you could sit with that energy for a bit longer in your own
Yeah.
space and
Yeah.
work with it?
Yeah.
Don't forget, this is about power and control. So, resistance can mean it's, you're just not quite sure of it, or there's a reason why you don't want to work
Mm,
with the energy of it. So
mm,
I think you probably need time to figure out what is going on for you with that. And it
yeah.
might just be today's not the day,
Yeah.
you know, if things have happened or you just can't be, it's like sometimes you just can't be bothered. But if you like come back to it in a different
Yeah.
space and you've
Yeah.
let go of what might have niggled you yesterday or this morning, it's like you're more receptive to stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nothing can
Yeah.
happen without your permission. So I would say, um, sit with what's come up
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I will do.
yeah.
I will do.
And
It's just the last things that we've done have been so felt. I
yeah.
could feel the difference of this one not being felt. Like if this was how it had always been, I'd be like, yeah, it was great, it's lovely. But I could definitely notice the difference. So yeah, no, and I will. I'm committed to. I don't want to have this feeling, and I will commit to doing it and sitting with it and working on it.
So yeah, just let me just 1 second. When you say I don't want to have this feeling, what's the feeling?
The aggression, this
Okay.
anger, this yeah, yeah.
So resonating to me so much. You get me on a day where I can't be asked, and I just can't be asked, and I'm going to let you know about it, and that's just possibly what's happening here. So it's
Okay.
fine. But then you've got to think about yourself. Well, who is this actually bothering?
Yeah,
You.
yeah,
So are you all right being go and beat yourself up then? Go and bash because that's what it's like. It's like, okay, I'm gonna fucking hang on to this because it's gonna serve me. I'm gonna, or I'm gonna let it go because actually that is not helping me at
it's
all.
not helping me. My husband said to me, I don't know, a day or two ago, he said, do you want me to buy you a punch bag? And I was like, why? He said, because you're really like, ugh. Am I?
Yeah. So imagine turning that aggression, which is an inward
Mm,
attack on the self,
yeah,
immune system flares, all of that with stress. Um, Imagine having the capability, the tool, no one else has got this, to be able to turn that aggression
yeah,
into a powerful resource which actually does the thing it wants you to do. Well, that's what the magician's energy can do. But you have to first of all collaborate.
yeah,
This is a two-way thing, not a one-way thing. And first of all, allow
yeah.
it in.
I think maybe that's it for me. It couldn't come in because I didn't know what I wanted it to turn it into.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So maybe that's why I couldn't make the turnaround.
Yeah,
Like with the high priestess, it was like there was a definite, came from one energy and she went into a different energy. And that was the turning point. Whereas he was coming, but I just didn't know what he was doing with it. So maybe that's the bit that I need to sit with.
yeah. So it's bringing back a power, but it's not a power in a way that we might
Yeah.
already experience power.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, power is such a fine line. It's power manipulation, basically,
Absolutely.
from one form to another. You know, sorry, power or manipulation. That's the tipping point, isn't it? So that's the human experience of power.
Yeah.
If you go off in your own space and you sit with and bring the magician forward, notice what he looks like, allow him to do this. So the energy from him comes into
Mm,
your solar plexus, and just notice what experience it brings to you, because it's a spiritual power. It's not a
yeah.
human power.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so the spiritual power can then come through you and dissolve
Yeah.
areas of power plays, martyrism, all of
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
overly working aggression. So it can do that for you without you consciously thinking
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
So just accept it, just bring it in, bring in the power orange, the color orange as well. Notice if this color's any different, and just fill your whole body up with it, and
Yeah.
just thank the magician, and just say, you know, I accept the spiritual power that you're giving to me, and thank you for bringing this into my life. And just notice how
Yeah.
situations change. And we
Yeah.
can, if you feel like it wasn't enough or you haven't got it, we can do it again.
Yeah, I will sit with it. I will sit with it again, but it just wasn't like, I couldn't work out whether it was a man, whether it was female. I couldn't really visualize what they were wearing. You know, it was just like just wasn't very powerful today. So yeah, I think I just need to spend some time somewhere else. Maybe not today, maybe tonight, whatever, and just do it again.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can do it again as well. If you struggle on your own, let me know, and we can do it again too. But
Okay.
it's going to be really interesting to see what comes up after this session.
Yeah,
Write it down as well.
I will. I
And we
always
can work
do.
on it again. You know, if we need to
Yeah.
do another session on this, if it thinks, right,
Yeah.
okay, we really do, then we will.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
lovely.
I'll hook up with you soon.
All right, take
All
care.
right.
Thanks,
Take care, love.
Anne-Marie.
Bye.